Hello, book besties.
I'm Albie.
And I'm Nikki,
Welcome to Backstage with the Book Babes.
where we spill the tea on the secret lives of your favorite romance authors. We've got a fantastic Canadian author with us today who writes small town rom-coms with mental health representation. So we can't wait to introduce you to her. But first off, what have you been up to, Albie?
Oh my goodness. The cat I've rescued has been fixed. He is definitely a boy. So that was exciting news. But yeah, I'm deep into the roller derby and, still working on the trick shot celebrity romance as well. So what about you, Nikki?
Perfect. Same. I'm editing my roller derby and I've started writing my next book too, which is a celebrity cowboy crossover, which is a little departure from what I've been doing. So I'm pretty excited for that.
Nice.
That's what's up with me. But now we are so excited to introduce you to Hannah Brixton. Big book babe, welcome to you, Hannah.
Thank you so
Welcome.
much. Thanks. I am excited. So excited to be here.
Yay. We're glad to have you with us too. Could you tell us a little bit about your books to start off with?
Sure. Yes. So I write spicy contemporary romance. I have a series, and there are 3 books out in the series with a 4th coming hopefully at the end of this year. They are right here. It's called the Lennox Valley Chronicles. Got Hey Jude, Jesse's
They're
Girl,
so pretty.
and Sweet Caroline. Thank you. And they are, they're spicy. They are all featuring at least one main character with a neurodivergent brain. Which is something that's important to me as somebody with ADHD. And they have sort of a found family vibe, most of them, and mental health rep. And that's just something that's important to me. And they're fun.
Perfect.
I
love
can tell
that.
from the 80s music references.
Yes, all named after classic songs.
Yes. I was like, I see what you're doing there. I like that.
They're,
Have you got them all planned out ahead? Have you got a bunch more titles that you can't wait to use?
Well, I've got one more book coming, which will be in the
Okay.
same theme, and I haven't announced the title yet.
Cool.
But yeah, I've got one more.
One
There are
more.
lots of options. I mean, there are a
Yeah.
limited set because the thing is, they're not just song titles, but they're song titles that have a name in them. So
Yeah.
that narrows it down a bit in terms of what you can choose. Yeah,
For
that
sure.
was something that sort of was an accidental theme because I wrote Hey Jude and was sort of searching for a title for Hey Jude. And I had already named the character Jude. And I was like, wait a second, Hey Jude. And I looked up the lyrics to the Beatles song and was like, wait, that actually works. And then when I thought about
Perfect.
writing a second book set in the same town, I was like, oh, maybe I could have a title that would go along with the theme there. And so then I started looking at other options for ones that would work for romance, basically.
Mhm.
And it also had a name in them. And Jesse's Girl was next. And it just went from there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh man,
That's
that's
awesome.
My first thought is like Janie's Got a Gun by Aerosmith, but that would be
Yeah.
a dark romance.
Yeah, that might be a different tone. Yeah.
Different
But
vibes.
what's cool about the theme, though, and then having the song titles is like my readers will be like out in the world and be like getting their groceries and be like, Sweet Caroline came on the radio, it made me think of you. And they'll send me messages and stuff. So it's like, I always joke that it's like the coolest form of Inception ever.
Yeah. Oh,
Which is like
that's so
inserted
awesome.
in people's lives. Like whenever these songs play, they're like,
So if they're
Oh my
ever in a
God.
dream and then you can pull them out of it, it'll be good.
That's right.
It'll be good.
Yeah.
I'm basically Leonardo DiCaprio.
I love that. Gosh, so how did you decide on small towns, and where did the inspiration for that come from?
Well, okay, so here's the thing. I started writing kind of on a lark. I kind of had an idea to write a book. I had the concept for Hey Jude was sort of formulating in my mind, and I wanted to set it in sort of an environment or a setting that was familiar to me. So I live in the Pacific Northwest area, I'm on the Canadian side, so it's the Pacific Southwest, I guess, for us. But I live on Vancouver Island, and I was just like, I want to write something that's sort of set in this kind of environment, in this kind of climate, where I'm familiar with the landscape and the weather and things like that. So yeah, small town. So they're smallish town. Like it's not like I have to sort of market it using certain things. You guys are probably familiar with this idea of like, you sort of have to like market after and go. I think that sort of describes it mostly. I wouldn't say it's the small townness of the series is a massive focus, but there is a lot of like, there's one cafe or there's one deli, things are in walking distance. It's sort of an intimate little town, but it's not like where everybody and their dog knows each other. Exactly.
It's not Stars Hollow, but it's getting there.
Yeah. So that wasn't a massive focus for me, but I just wanted to set it in somewhere sort of similar to where I live. So here where I live with my husband and our kids, we We have a property and we have done some of the gardening, landscaping stuff ourselves. And I've had some experiences with doing some of the work that's featured in Hey Jude, and because they're working on a landscaping project in that book. And so that was kind of the inspiration for the first one. And then beyond that, I was just like, I love writing. I want to write more. And then I had to, come up with another book idea. So
Yeah.
it was all very kind of assembled on the fly, but it's worked
Yeah.
really well. And what's really cool about it is I've had a lot of compliments about how I set up this series of interconnected standalones where it's not just one group of friends or a set of brothers. Not that there's anything wrong with writing them that way, but that's been done a lot, right? And
Mhm.
so this is kind of like this one couple over here, and then the next book is this one couple over there, and then we see some eventual crossover in their worlds, and then the third book is the brother of the main character from the first book. Like it's just, and they all eventually kind of have these links
Yeah.
to each other. But
Mhm.
it's not just like every member of the group of friends eventually gets a love interest in the same way as a lot of series are set up. So I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
think it's fun. It's a bit unique, and some of that is part of my chaos. So
We're
we're embracing
familiar
it.
with
We're
the
embracing it.
chaos.
Yeah.
That's also part of our brand, chaos.
Yeah.
Chaos and
Sounds
Yeah.
familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, where you just lean into your strengths, right?
definitely. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Oh, I like
So
that.
you got a little bit of the small town vibes, but then the other important thing that everyone needs to know is the spice factor.
Mhm.
I know it's very subjective. We always have this conversation, and everyone is always like, well, some people think this way, but what would you say is like the spice level, this description of your books?
That's a great question. It is so subjective. And I've had people rate my books from anywhere from 2 to 5 chili peppers. So it's really hard. It's hard to know what to make of that and how people are conceptualizing that. But I would say, and I have kind of, in my, interpretation of the spice levels, I'd say Hey Jude's about a 3, Jessie Squirrel's 3.5, and Sweet Caroline's a 4. But that's like
Mm-hmm.
my reading experience and my personal sense of it. But it's really
Yeah.
it's really hard to say. Like, if you read very, very intense, high spice, dark romance, they might seem tame in comparison. But if you've like not read much spicy romance, they might seem mildly spicy to you. So it's really
Yeah.
hard to say.
Yeah.
For
But they're
sure. For sure.
definitely
Yeah.
very open door, explicit. Yeah.
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 So if they're getting spicier as they go, does that mean that the fourth book will be like 5 spice level?
I don't know yet. I mean, you tend to get more comfortable with it as you write more and more, right? I think that's what tends to happen across the series is, you up your game a little, because when you're writing your very first book, you're like, ooh, this is really daring. And then eventually that thing that you thought was daring does not feel daring at all. And then you want to kind of, I don't know, have new ideas and new takes and unique ideas and things. So yeah, it'll probably be fairly high spice, but I don't think it's going to be like super off the deep end.
Yeah. Nice. Do you have any fun stories of like a real life situation that's inspired either your book as a whole or a scene or a character?
Let's see. Well, I mean, yeah, there's pieces of me in each book for sure. Well, like I said, in Hey Jude, that was a lot of the landscaping project they're working on is kind of based on some work that I've personally done with my husband around our home. And like we've been the people who got a load of gravel delivered and had to wheelbarrow loads of it up a ramp all the way to the backyard, dump them out. Like it is really heavy.
Yeah.
That's accurate from the book. That's from personal experience. So yeah, a lot of that was from my life. And I think it's more it's not necessarily the scenes themselves, but the characters are really drawn from different parts of my personality. Like Elena, who's the FMC in Hey Jude, is definitely the like perfectionistic people pleaser, ADHD chaos part of me who's really hard on herself and just wishing she could get it together, not getting it together. And she just needs a safe green flags kind of partner. And that's what she finds in Jude. And so that's what I needed once upon a time. I've got that with my husband now. I'm very happy. But, I dated some duds in the past. So at some point, that was me wishing for that, right? And so there's pieces like that have come from my life. And Ada, the FMC in the second book, and Jessie's girl, she's very, very snarky, very quick-witted and sarcastic. And that's like that teasing, goofier side of me. So like that comes from me. And then Miles in the third book, he's got ADHD. And a lot of his inner sort of overthinking and anxiety and things come from me. So yeah, it's so much fun to like just put little bits of yourself into your characters and put little bits of your life, just even small details like an inside joke with your partner can make it in, or a quote from a show that you love and no one else has heard of can sometimes kind of wind its way into your banter and stuff. I love putting that kind of stuff in. I feel like I should annotate my books at some point and mark all these little like, hey, just
Yeah.
see where this came from, because that would be really fun to share.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could do a special edition one with that, or you can even do
Yeah.
like an individual one and give it away. That sort of thing I've seen
Yeah.
before, which is really fun, right?
That would be
I was
A little
gonna say,
personal piece of the author.
yeah, I've only seen one other author do that where they annotated it and made it like a bigger version. And so that it's in hardback and that it's a special edition that people can actually buy. And I was like, that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, that would be
You
really
know?
fun. It would take a long time to do, though. I
Yeah.
think that's like
But
the
then you
part that
only have to
makes
do
me
it
hesitate.
once, you know?
Yeah.
Because like I know some authors, they're like, oh, I annotated this as like a giveaway. I'm like, yeah, but now for the next one, you have to annotate it again.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
you could just do it once.
You almost need to like take photos of all your annotations so you could just like go in and write.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't have to like
Exactly.
pull all of that from your brain again.
Mm-hmm.
That would be fun. Maybe someday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
someday. Add it to the
Future
list.
problem.
Allie was just showing me her list before we started, her to-do list. I'm like, yep, that looks about right.
Yeah. That's just my weekly to-do list.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah. So
Oh
you're
my
telling
goodness.
us kind of how you relate to some of the characters, but which of your characters would your friends and family say is the most like you? Do you think?
I don't know. Probably Elena. She's just sort of like she's talking too much, babbling when she's nervous, anxious, just really hard on herself. That's definitely like my day to day. I have a very high standard for myself, and like I think that makes me do really high quality work, but it's also very time consuming and very energetically draining. And I don't know if either of you identifies as neurodivergent, but when you have a brain that works differently like that, you do spend just a ton of cognitive energy on, basic things.
Just
Getting
existing.
through the day, basic tasks,
Exactly.
and overthinking and rechecking things and being kind of perfectionistic is also really draining. So I feel like my personality is tired.
We can
All my life, people like I'm sure people would just imagine if they're thinking of me that I'd be like, oh, I'm so tired. Like I'm always just saying, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. And my husband's always like, wow, that's new information.
Yeah.
Someone tells you to slow down, you're like, I can't. Like I physically cannot stop
Yeah.
doing these 20 things that I'm doing. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. My
Yeah.
favorite is like to stay awake for like 3 or 4 hours in the middle of the night thinking about an interaction I had a couple years ago with somebody on the
Oh,
street
yeah.
or whatever.
Yes.
Be like, I said the wrong word. I shouldn't have said
Yeah.
that word.
Yeah.
Or like,
20
I
years
phrased,
ago,
I
you
phrased
know?
that badly. Yeah. I'm
Maybe
like,
you went to in high school where you did that embarrassing thing and you're just like,
Yeah.
why is this in my brain still? Why?
Yeah. why did
Why do I
order
forget
that
where I
sandwich?
put my
I never
keys,
liked
but I
it.
remember that interaction.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Exactly.
Yes. Exactly.
Yes.
Overanalyzing everything.
We're all
Yeah.
plagued with those memories, unfortunately. I wish I could remember the really good things with that level of, like, I wish I could be haunted by the good memories.
Oh, that would be a dream. But I
Right?
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know.
always
Like,
the embarrassing ones.
yeah, I don't know if I could even imagine that, because like I'm in West Michigan and we like to say that I left the Catholic Church but I kept the guilt.
Yeah.
So like, no matter what, it's like it's my fault. It's just
Yeah.
always my fault.
Take it inside and keep it there.
Yeah, exactly.
So true.
Yeah.
My gosh.
It's so hard
Yeah.
to forgive yourself and give yourself permission to just exist and be
Yeah.
flawed and messy. But it's so, if you can, it's so freeing to get there. I mean, I hear.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh. Oh, crazy. Speaking of dream ideas, if your books ever got made into a movie or a TV show, do you have any dream casting for who would play your characters?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think I've thought about this more for Hey Jude because it's just been around longer and that's come up more. But Joseph Kanata, I don't know if that I'm saying his name right. I think he does romance movies, but he looks very much like Jude must be in my mind. So he
Okay.
could be great as Jude. You know who Jude is kind of a combination of in my mind actually though is, do you know, how do I say his last name? The guy who played Alcide in True Blood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember his name at the top of my head, but yeah.
Joe Menangiello or something. He's got a really long last name. But yeah, him and our favorite TikTok wood splitter, Thorne Bradley.
Yes.
Lit
I
up.
was watching those ones later.
The suspenders, the wood chopping. Yeah.
Fantastic.
He's kind of both those guys in my head.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I
Yeah,
love
specifically
that.
Elseed in True Blood, not necessarily the
Yeah.
actor, but like Elseed would like wear the flannel shirts, and he was
Mhm.
really kind of like
Yes.
broody and quiet. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that
Yeah.
sounds
Love it.
Definitely.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and somebody
Oh,
suggested Dakota Johnson for Olenna, and I was like, that's pretty good.
yeah. Oh my
It's
gosh,
always
that's
fun to think
awesome.
about these things.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know about the other books though. They are so clear in my head. It's hard. Like I have a really hard time finding stock images to use for the same reason. Like they're so clear in my head that when I find an image where I'm like, okay, that's close, I just pick it apart. Like, oh, it's not quite right for this reason or that reason because they don't really match this imagined person. Because
Yeah.
they're not real.
It's
Yeah. I feel the same about audiobooks. I haven't done any audiobooks yet,
Mhm.
but when I think about it, sometimes I've listened to narrators and things, and I'm like, I don't know, that's not quite right. It's not
Yes.
quite right.
It's so
Mhm.
hard. Narrator voices are so hard for the same reasons. Like, but it's not the voice I hear in my head.
Yeah.
But is it close
Exactly.
enough? Because that
Yeah.
person doesn't exist, as we must acknowledge.
yeah.
Because they are fictional.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
want to find someone who's close enough, or like just fits. Like
Captures
is
the
really good
essence.
for the role. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, my narrators have been amazing. I've done audiobooks for the first two, and they've been amazing in the roles for sure. I have no regrets. But yeah, it's just funny. Like you have to put aside the mental representation you have to be like reasonable.
Yeah.
Exactly. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
So out of all your characters, which of them would you like to get snowed in with? And who would you just kick out of the cabin and let them run into the woods?
I wouldn't kick anyone out.
Maybe just let them stay in the bedroom. You stay in there. You're
Yeah.
welcome there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop annoying me. No, I would love to get snowed in with Miles. He's the MMC in Sweet Caroline. He is so much fun. So he's the ADHD goblin male main character, and he's really really funny and flirty and goofy. And I would love to just hang out with him. He'd be amazing. He's not hard on the eyes either.
That's how we like our fictional men.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Nice.
him. I don't know. I wouldn't kick anyone out. I love them all. They're my babies.
Yeah.
There's
That's
got to
why
be
you do
side
why
character
choose.
someone
There's
that
some
you're
side
like, "Nah, get out of
characters
here."
I'd kick out of 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're meant to be hated.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So I think you're active on Instagram, right?
Yes.
What is like the most unhinged thing that you like to post? Or
Oh, well, I thought you were going to say my unhinged DMs posts, because I actually post
Yeah.
my own
yeah,
DMs as.
you do. Awesome. Will you tell me about that?
So yeah, I have a series of posts that are DMs that I've sent recently without context.
Mm-hmm.
And so whenever I send a ridiculous DM that would make no sense without context, I add it to this working document and post. When I get about 10, I'll post a carousel of all these ridiculous DMs. And they are I don't write the DMs intending to be unhinged. I promise.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not setting myself up for, oh, this will be good content. I legitimately write them and then go, well, I've done it again.
Add it to the list.
That's going in my next unhinged DMs post. So
Yeah.
I actually post a lot of my own ridiculousness that way. But yes, I get some feral reader DMs at times, which is my favorite thing. I actually have somebody who's reading my books today. Yesterday, she read all of Hey Jude and sent me this litany of all caps reactions, which is the best thing for my heart ever. And she's like, I'm so sorry, I'm probably annoying you. I'm like, no. This is amazing.
Yeah.
Please don't
Oh my
stop.
God.
Please just enjoy this book with your whole heart, because it's life-giving for me. And then
Yeah.
today she's reading Jesse's Girl. She's just on to the next one. And it's the same thing. The reactions are coming in and I'm just loving it so much. So that's my favorite thing, actually, when readers send their
Yeah.
unfiltered reaction. Because
Amazing.
it's something you worked on for so long and put
Yeah.
so much
Mhm.
energy and love and time and finessing into. And for somebody to be kind of ringside while someone experiences that for the first time and has all these reactions, it's just yes. It's this is why I did this.
Yeah.
To share this story with readers and to evoke these reactions and these emotions. So I love it. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Did I answer
love
the
that.
question? Is there
Yeah.
Yeah, that was perfect.
I don't know.
Because I can
I tend to get
I can
on reels
relate.
and stuff and be quite real, no makeup,
Yeah.
messy hair. Unlike today, I tried for today. I'm often, I've got my bed head and I've just gotten it out of my face. And then I'm on there being like, hey, I hate marketing. So here's what my book's about. And I often get a lot of really positive comments about that because I think readers really appreciate just when you're like, hey, I'm a
Honest.
person and
Vulnerable. Yeah.
I'm a chaos goblin, just like my characters. And maybe that's you too, Like, because those are my people. Those are the people who are going to relate to my characters, is the people who are also ADHD and kind of messy and can't get it together and forgot to eat and forgot to pee and, like just
Yeah.
not
Definitely.
quite
Yeah.
optimally functioning.
Yes. That sounds very familiar.
Yeah,
That sounds so
exactly.
familiar.
So
Oh,
speaking
man.
of readers, meeting
Mhm.
readers, I saw you were going to Romance Invades the Canadian Rockies in May,
Yeah.
which is amazing. I
wait.
love Banff. I spent a year out in Lake Louise when I was in
Oh, awesome.
university, and so I have some pretty fond memories from there. Are you excited for this one? Did you go to this year, or
No,
is
I've
this your
never
first
been
year going?
before. I'm
nice.
super excited, though. It's going to be the
Yeah.
biggest event I've been to. I've
Oh.
done 3 events so far. One was Romance on the Prairies in Saskatoon last May, and then I did one here on the island in Nanaimo, BC in October, and I have one in Victoria, also Vancouver Island. That's where I live, in March. And the one in Nanaimo was a little bit bigger than Saskatoon, and I think the one in Victoria is going to be maybe a little bit bigger or similar. So, but Banff in May is going to be big. Like,
It's a
that's
big one, yeah.
event.
For
Yeah.
sure.
So I have no idea what to expect. Like,
Yeah.
I'm still a fairly new author, and yeah, that's going to be quite the undertaking.
Very exciting.
But yes, my street team is like, my reader pals are coming, and I get to meet some people that I haven't met before, which is really cool. Yeah, I'm
You'll
so
get to meet some
excited.
cool
So
authors too, which is great.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
going to be
Yeah.
great. Can't wait.
What other events do you have coming up in 2026? And do you have pre-orders available for all your events?
Yeah, I have pre-orders up for both the Bonded and Enchanted is the one in Victoria, and then Romance Invades the Canadian Rockies. Those are both open, and the links are in my bio on Instagram if you want to find that. I don't have anything planned past May just yet, so I'm not sure, but I'm open to going to more events for sure. I love them. They're so much fun. Getting to meet people who are excited or who have already read your books and are wanting your signature, that's really special
Yeah.
and cool. And then getting to share about your books to new readers that haven't heard of them before, that's also really cool. And yeah, it's just neat to connect with people in person. Like, writing is and marketing, they're such sort of solitary activities a lot of the time, right? You're sitting in front of your computer in your sweatpants and just kind of with your multiple beverages and
Yes.
not being
And snacks.
very connected socially.
Yeah.
In the real life capacity, at least. So it's really nice to actually get out and do those in-person events. I love it.
I went to Romance A in Edmonton this year. It was great, and they're doing it again
heard
next year in
great
October.
things about that one.
Definitely check that out.
Yeah.
I think they're starting to take up applications in January.
Nice. Yes, I heard great things, and I actually met the organizer in Saskatoon, but I wasn't able to go because it was the same day as the Nanaimo event that I went to.
Oh yeah.
But
Which
I
one
heard-
did you meet? Who did you meet? Oh, okay. Yeah. So we know Cheryl Tara, who's another one of the organizers. We met her in the Vegas conference a couple years ago, and we saw her again last year. So it was nice getting to see her again. And I did meet Rachel and the other, Stephanie, who's the other organizer.
Nice.
Yeah. They were all really amazing, and it was a great event. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. Well, I hope to do more. I hope to do more Canadian events, particularly now traveling between Canada and the US is a bit dodgy. So I'd like to try to stay within our borders and do what I can within Canada. I just don't want to deal with the risks.
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm in Canada. I'm in Ontario. But Albie's in Michigan. She's in the US. So
it's a hard situation, hard time to be traveling for sure.
Yes. So you said you've done 3 author events already. What is your favorite thing about meeting readers in person?
Just the joy that everyone's just so excited about reading and stories, and I just love the enthusiasm about our stories. Like, it's like I'm getting to share that. It's just so much fun. I don't know. Like, is there anything specific about meeting readers? Like, I love signing books and selling books and spreading the word and all that, but it's just so much fun to share in all the positive energy. Like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's good answer. But I love it. Yeah. It's very like it's a big day. Like going to an event like that and being kind of on for 2 sessions, morning and an afternoon, or all the way through, whatever, however it's set up. It's a lot of peopling, right? Like it's a lot of being social and being outgoing, and bookish people are not always that way.
Yeah.
But it's also very life-giving. Like you just feel really pumped up and you feel appreciated and valued, and you feel like you have met so many wonderful people that you also appreciate and value. And it's just really lovely.
Yeah. Especially because these are all people that you have so much in common with, because they also love books.
Yeah, yeah, and love romance and love the tropes and the book boyfriends, and there's all that cheeky, fun stuff that's part of it, right? And some people will bring you just brilliant artwork that they've made, or some people will make like a signing book specifically for that event. Like they've crafted something that's to collect signatures on, or they've made something that's about your books if they knew about you ahead of time. I had a reader at, I actually did a very small local event in Victoria recently. I forgot to mention, but a reader came to that and she had seen me in Nanaimo. We talked then. She chatted with me, and then she sewed me a bag that was like, she had chosen the colors to match the cover of Sweet Caroline. Like she'd chosen fabrics, different fabrics from to sew it from. Anyway, it was just made, and then she'd embroidered Sweet Caroline along the bottom. And I was like, this is incredible. The time and love that went into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so special.
Yeah, yeah. It was incredible.
awesome.
I was just blown away. I was like, this is for me? What? I just don't know. Yeah, it's wild. But yeah, I think there were folks in Saskatoon who they had painted a signing board. And it was all a lovely landscape. And I was like, this is so cool. Like, we got some crafty people in this community, and myself included. I love crafting. Maybe that's why I love all that stuff. Because I know what goes into it,
Yeah.
Hours and hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But like, that's so appreciated and so special when you get little gifts like that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
Now,
that.
do you want to tell us about when you're writing your books? Because that's kind of part of your crafting and craft.
Yeah.
What are your writing vibes like? Do you need specific setup, or do you need to be in a specific place? Do you need music? No music? How does that work for you?
Yeah, so I can't really do it with music on. I will sometimes put on loud noise, which is like white noise, but it's more like the sound of being inside an airplane, certain frequency. Anyway, for some reason, I read somewhere that helps ADHD brains focus. And I was like, well, let's try it. So sometimes I'll put that on to help me focus. And it does seem to kind of, I don't know, there's something about it. Maybe it's a placebo effect or something. But
Could be.
it helps me kind of lock in a bit. I often need snacks because I'm, as I said, an ADHD chaos goblin. So I'll be just sort of snacking and writing, snacking and writing, snacking and writing. I think something about that sensory input of crunching on something, or having like different, textures, or sweet, sour, whatever is helpful for focus too. So there's a lot of little ADHD hacks, I guess, I use to make sure I can focus. And in terms of having a space for it, I had move around the house a lot. I have kind of an office with a desktop computer, and then I also have a laptop, and I'll go in the living room sometimes. I even have a setup where I can have the laptop on the top of my treadmill and I can walk while writing.
Awesome.
That's smart. Yeah.
And that movement actually helps my brain with focus and idea generation and stuff too. So yeah, there's a lot of things that I do just sort of to set myself up for success, I guess. That's part of the fatigue though, hey? Like doing that work just in order to be able to do your work.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like having to, okay, I got to turn on the brown noise. I got to make sure I'm, in a new location. So there's a bit of novelty, or I have to set up some snacks ahead of time or whatever. Like you have to use your strategies, and that takes mental energy just to be able to take the mental energy to write.
For sure.
Yeah.
And focus.
Because I know you have to move wherever. I always think about it as dude, I can write here for a while, but then when it stops working, I have to find a new process.
Yeah.
And use that until I can't use it anymore.
And it fails, and then you have to reinvent the wheel again.
Yeah.
That's the most annoying part, I think, is that it'll work for a while, but not forever.
Yeah.
And then you
love
have
if it worked forever.
Yeah.
Didn't I just solve this problem yesterday?
What?
Why am I
Solving
doing
the
it
same
again?
problem forever. That's what ADHD is.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Man.
It's the same with eating well or exercising or performing anything that should be a habit, but habits don't exist. So lots of energy spent on that.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my gosh. So for your writing process, What's the weirdest thing you've ever Googled?
Oh, I should have kept a list because I know there's weird things. But like when I'm asked that question, I'm like, I don't think I've Googled anything ever.
Google, what's that? I don't know.
Do you get that effect when you're put on the spot and sometimes you're just like, what's your favorite movie? And I'm like, I've never seen a movie in my life.
I don't know what you're talking about. What's the movie?
I don't know. I've Googled all kinds of stuff. Like, there's a physical struggle scene in Hey Jude. I had to Google like things around restraints with rope. Gosh, I've had to Google, did lots of research on addiction and when I wrote Sweet Caroline, because Miles is a recovering alcoholic. And oh gosh, it's a million things, big and small, but I don't know if I have one really weird thing. I definitely have had to open some private tabs.
Yes. Incognito.
Like those incognito. Yeah. Yeah. I've definitely done that. Here's a weird one. In Sweet Caroline, there's a toy play scene, and the toy set that is involved is like an ocean theme. And so I had to like Google sex toys that were in the ocean theme to be like, is this a thing that exists? So I was looking at, I don't know if I'm going to get censored for any words here, but here goes.
No, it's okay. We have an explicit. It's fine.
Yeah.
I had to look up tentacle dildos and nipple suckers and see if are there any nipple suckers in the shape of a starfish?
That'd be so cool.
Yeah. Like seashell.
Sorry. I'm like, oh, fantastic.
Right? I love this set. Like seashell shaped butt plugs. Like I was just looking for everything. Yeah. So
nice.
Yeah, that's probably the most recent weird thing that I can think of at least.
That's a good one. See? You got there.
I was like, I had to get the inspo, you know?
Yeah, of course.
And you were saying with the landscaping that you kind of pulled that from your personal experience, but is there anything you've learned as a result of writing a book? Like, did you learn any new skills, learned any new facts or anything from writing your books?
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. What have I've learned so much. Well, I mean, like being an author, you learn constantly. It's such a learning curve, like especially all the publishing marketing stuff. But that's not fun as an answer.
That's the writing part. But anything like a skill or a hobby or something that one of your characters does or anything like that?
Well, I had to learn how to make a blue Hawaiian drink that Ada makes in Jessie's Girl. I had to learn, let's see, what else? I'm trying to think of I had to learn what you call the little part you hold on to when you play air hockey.
Oh, yeah. What is it called? I don't know.
It's called a mallet, which
that's weird.
Is not the word I used in the book because no one knows that.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know that unless you're like, you make air hockey tables or something. But
yeah.
No, I called it paddle I don't remember. I think it was paddle. And I had to look up skee ball machines because they're in an arcade. Anyway, I had to look up skee ball machines. Like, what do you call a skee ball machine? Is it called a skee ball machine? Is it called like a skee ball run? Is it called a skee ball ramp?
Yeah.
I didn't know. Went with skee ball machine in the end. I had to I was looking at like schematics of skee ball machines and to see what are the different parts labeled as, because you want to get the vocab correct and not have somebody who's like, I run an arcade and I know that this is not correct, you know?
Yeah.
There's always one person for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's also hard to balance too with okay, so this is what it's actually called, but what would the character call it? Like,
exactly.
If they're not knowledgeable about cars, then obviously you should call it the doodad and not the engine, you know?
Exactly. So what's the common term for that? Or what's the thing that the characters would know it as? Yeah. I actually had a reader not long ago reach out and be like, okay, so in Hey Jude, this is somebody who works with wood, as a profession. And he said, in Hey Jude, there's this chestnut tree. And I'm just curious because there was this blight on the chestnut trees that took out all the chestnut trees in the United States. And so is that something that they have there? And do you have that where you live? I was like, actually, I have one in my backyard. And I hadn't even thought to be like, is the chestnut tree a native species or not? Or would there be one there? Because I have one in my backyard. But anyway, then he and I are talking and I'm Googling the distribution of the American chestnut. And what about, is there an Asian chestnut tree? And is there, horse chestnut is different than a chestnut. Okay. And I had to we had this whole conversation about whether or not a chestnut tree would exist in that part of the world. It was just fascinating. It's so interesting because the thing is, there's always going to be a reader who's actually, and I'm so aware when I'm writing that I'm somebody who knows about bartending or trees or plants or something is going to call me out on this. So I have to get it right. And that's why I'm really diligent with, as much as I can be anyway, with research, because I know there's going to be somebody who has like special
Which is
knowledge.
Definitely.
It's so funny because like the important part in this, like for me, I would think would be like, it's not the important part is not that it's a chestnut tree, it's that he's fucking her against the tree, and that's the important part in that scene. Like,
Yes,
did
let's
you
focus
miss
on
it?
Yeah. Why are you fixating on the type of chestnut tree? Yeah.
Right? Yes. No, he was great about it. He was just like, no, it wasn't a mistake or anything. I was just curious because it made me wonder. And then like thinking about all the history of this species of wood. Yeah. I was just like, oh, it didn't even occur to me because there is one right here. And I live really close to where I set the stories. But yeah, there's always something like that could come up. And I'm just like, I really like to make sure things are as accurate as possible.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Yeah. I like it. For your own reading habits, is there a romance book that you're like, this is the best romance book ever, that you would reach out to the author and want to talk about it?
Like, well, I talk to so many romance authors and I've been reading so many of their books, so I do talk to them quite frequently. I've actually been in like a really big reading slump for probably over a year, just like having trouble making time for it, being keen about reading. It's not that I don't want to read or I don't value it. It's just like, I don't know, with ADHD, you often just have things that you're enjoying for a while and then go through periods of you just don't want to. It's just not giving you the joy or the dopamine that it used to give. And I think honestly, it's because I was writing so much that was taking so much of my mental energy and focus, and my bookish energy was going to the writing rather than the reading. But I'm trying to slow down a little bit on things like marketing this year and take care of myself a bit more. And I think having a better bedtime routine will help. And I'm trying to make a point of reading before bed so that I can like wind down properly. So hopefully I'll get out of there. But yeah, in terms of like picking a favorite romance book or something, that's also really hard. Just like, what's your favorite movie? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many beautiful books out there and I have a hard time choosing. So I can't pick anything. Sorry.
You're fine. We all get it.
I love so much, and I'm such a mood reader, and I'm such a I don't know, my tastes sort of change over time, and it just depends what I'm in the mood for sometimes. Like something will totally hit exactly what you're looking for in the right moment, and it's just so delicious when you find that book. Like for me, being in a reading slump, I was like, I'll try reading some other subgenre that I haven't read before. So I tried reading Ice Planet Barbarians. And it was one of those things where like for the moment that I was in, the mood I was in and what I needed, it was like perfect. And it's not a perfect book. It's just that it like hit right in the moment.
For sure. Yeah.
And I was like, I don't even care that they haven't explained why she got abducted by aliens. I'm just here for the vibe, Because I noticed that there's no explanation. Like she's just on this ship and that's when the story starts and we never find out like why.
I didn't even realize that when I was reading. I was just like, yeah, I'm loving this. I'm a very vibe reader, though. So, people are like plot holes. And I'm like, what ones? I missed them.
Yeah.
If you get captured by the characters, right?
Yeah.
The characters suck you in, the story sucks you in, then it's easy to just get into that moment rather than dwelling on the details.
I could make a joke about sucking there, but I'm not going to.
You could. It's fine. Sometimes
I think that's another reason that I got kind of slumpy about reading was that I was doing a lot of beta reading, which is like, for listeners who aren't familiar, beta reading is like giving critical feedback about a manuscript. So for me, it's a lot more like, I have to have my critical brain on while reading, and I have to give sometimes line by line feedback or suggestions or whatever. And so it's hard for me to like turn that off. So when I'm reading a book, it's hard for me to just put that aside and not be beta reading, So sometimes that ruins the enjoyment a tiny bit of just the vibes or the story because you are approaching it like, oh, well, there's a typo there and that sentence is a bit awkward and I wish that they'd clarified that pronoun or whatever, I'm one of the people who cannot unsee things. And so the more I've done self-editing and beta reading over the years, the more I'm just like unable to let go of having that kind of critical lens. And it sort of sucks because you just be able to relax and read. And then your brain the whole time is like, well, I wouldn't have written it that way. Or what about this sentence?
And you can see the story structure. So you're like, even watching TV shows or movies, you're like, okay, so this is going to happen and this is going to happen, this is going to happen. And my
Yeah.
friends will be like, have you seen this before? I was like, no, but this is the clear pattern that they're setting up.
Yeah.
You
The craft part of your brain is just like on.
Mm-hmm.
And paying
Yeah.
attention to that all the time and learning from it in some cases and learning what works and what doesn't. Both of those are really important, but it's hard to just let it go.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was checking out your Instagram before we started, and your branding is really great. Like, I really loved what you had going on. Your covers are beautiful and your Instagram account is really fun. Is there an author you admire, whether for their writing or branding or career arc or anything you've learned in order to create what you have?
Yeah, well, one of my good friends, Katie Van Brent, has incredible branding and aesthetics on her page, and her books are so much fun and wonderfully written. So I'd definitely say she's been an influence and has helped me up my game with some of my edits, my Canva skills. We're all kind of low-key Canva pros, in the background here, right?
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
becoming that very quickly as time goes on. Yeah, no, she's great. And she always has really pretty aesthetics and takes a lot of time and energy to put into that. And I really admire that. Yeah. And I've read her 2 books that she's got out so far for the show. Sorry, the first one is For the Plot and the second one is For the Show. And they're both very spicy rom-coms. Really fun. There's a pegging scene in the first one. So it starts off
Just goes dive right in. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a bonus scene though, but it's included in the book. Yeah. So if it's not your jam, you can skip it. Yeah. No, she's fabulous.
We like the
Awesome.
spice. We're good.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Bring it on. So what is one thing that you'll be able to be like, this is when I've made it as an author?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe there's so many benchmarks you could get, right? You could get an orange banner, bestseller banner on Amazon. You could make it onto a bestseller list like the USA Today bestsellers, or not that one has much integrity at the moment, because I think that they've included things like the wacky arm flailing inflatable tube man. I think that they're now curating that list through AI. So I don't know. And I don't know if it has the merit or the legitimacy it used to have, but there are things like that could be big things, or getting picked up, traditionally published, that could be something. It's not something I'm pursuing actively, but you never know, like someone could reach out and things could go in that direction. I'd be open to that. I think I do really love being an indie though. There's so much that you get to choose for yourself and have control over with being an indie, and I really like that creative control. I don't love having to give up that creative control, like that idea.
Yeah.
If you go trad, then you've got somebody else making your decisions about, who your audiobook narrators are or what the book cover is going to be or whatever. And you probably get input, but maybe not final say,
Yeah.
I think having final say.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I got into writing very, very much like, I'm going to write a book and we'll see if I like it. And then I loved it. And now I'm 3 books in, working on a 4th. I didn't really go into it with I want to achieve, XYZ. I didn't have I want, like Katie Van Brent, who I mentioned, her goal is to see her books in the airport bookstore.
That's a good one.
Which I love. Yeah. And I really hope that happens for her. And I just have never had that in mind. I've never been like, oh, well, if I got into this bookstore or if I got accepted to this event or if I made this list, then I've made it. I feel like I am just so heavily grappling with imposter syndrome that even if I did achieve any of that, I'd be like, well, but I'm still just a mess. So they don't know that I'm just pretending.
Yes, exactly. That's the nice thing, though, when we get to meet with other authors and talk to other authors, is we all feel that way, right? Like we were at one of the conferences, and I think it was maybe it was Willow Winters, but it was like a really big author that's doing amazing things, and they were talking about it, and you're just like, thank you for saying that, because you're killing it. Obviously, you're doing amazing out there, and to hear that you still struggle too, like it's not just us, and it's very validating to hear it from other people too.
Totally. I think we all need to shout that from the rooftops that we are not all over it and not on top of everything. And sometimes we have awful sales, and sometimes we put typos on Instagram and don't notice for 3 days or whatever. We just need to be imperfect and model that for each other, because I think that that's really comforting. Like, I think it's so easy, especially on social media, it's so easy to see people's stuff and just assume they've got it all together, because some of it is so beautiful or so put together or so organized looking, and you just don't know about the two raccoons in a trench coat behind the scenes, right?
Yeah.
Like I want people to just feel at ease. And I think that's why I put myself out there as, that kind of hot mess express sometimes, because I want people to know I am just a regular person. Like, I'm a regular person who decided to write a book, and what the hell, now I'm on this train, and how did I even get here?
Yeah.
And I still have to pick up my kids from school, and I still have to juggle all this stuff, and I have to write my newsletter later today, and I haven't even started. And, I just want everyone to see that it's okay to not have it all. I think that we've had that, especially women have had this, you can have it all kind of narrative fed to us, crammed down our throats our whole lives. And how about we just model, no, you don't have to have it all. And that's actually not achievable or reasonable, because you're going to burn out. Like, you want to have mental health is what you want to have. That should be the goal, is maintaining your mental health, actually.
Yeah.
And I'm bad at that too. Like, I'm also on the cusp of burnout, or maybe in the early stages of burnout. I'm also having to reevaluate and back off and rest. And we all fuck up, and we all suck at that. And we all try to do too much. And it's normal to struggle through that, I think. And that's, I think, why I write neurodivergence and mental health into my books, because I want to show people that it's okay to be messy, and you still deserve love even when you're messy.
For sure. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I think part of, too, like what you're talking about, it has to do with where you are, like comparing yourself where you are at in your business and in your success to somebody who's been publishing for like 10, 15 years. Or has had that really big success right out of the gate. And now they're hiring professionals to do their graphic designs. Well, obviously, if you are just learning how to do Canva, it's going to be different than hiring like the best graphic designers to design every single one of your posts,
Totally.
Like, it's hard to, like, you're looking at their public persona, and you're seeing your not public persona, and you're comparing the two things, and they're not the same.
Yeah.
Totally. And you just never know what someone's dealing with behind the scenes either, right? Like, you might see somebody who's like, I wrote an entire book in a month, and they're celebrating that, and they should absolutely celebrate that. And then they're also like, their health is failing.
Yeah.
Or, their marriage is failing. Or like, you just never know. And it's really hard too to compare yourself like to people who have different life circumstances than you. Like, this comes up a lot as a parent. I've got 3 kids. If I'm comparing myself to an author who has no kids, that's an unfair comparison, because they don't have that piece of their life to manage at all. They can just do what they want to do when they want to do it, and they don't have to stop and go pick up their kids from school, or worry about daycare, or get sick all the time because their kid brings home germs or whatever. Like, they just don't have that same reality.
Yeah, and vice versa. Like, as somebody who doesn't have children and doesn't have a partner, I'm looking at my author friends who have a partner who can carry the health insurance. And I'm like, look, so you can have an easier time going from like working at an outside job to being an author, because you have somebody to fall back on to help with the bills and help with the mortgage and to carry the health insurance. And I'm like, that would be great. Anybody offering to give me that so that I can go full time?
Exactly.
Pretty cool.
Exactly. We can live in separate houses. It would be great.
Yeah, that's so true, right? Like, do you have a partner or a co-parent or whatever who can share the load or bring in some of the income? Because as we know, as you probably know, this author thing does not pay well unless you're huge, right? So, like, I'm certainly not paying the bills with my authoring. I have a part-time job too, and 3 kids and 2 cats, and a husband who I do need to speak to sometimes.
Yes, it is. It's kind of important.
Yeah. So
there's just lots of like
challenges.
Factors.
Yeah.
Like you said, like I said, you just never know what is happening behind the scenes or under the surface that someone's not disclosing on their social media. I mean, maybe everything's amazing, but they sleep 3 hours a night, or maybe their house is a total disaster because they never clean because they don't have time because they're focusing on their writing or their book marketing or whatever. And I don't know, I just love seeing transparency around that. I love seeing people's realities and when they're vulnerable and show or explain about the things that are kind of falling apart for them because they are doing so well. they're doing so well because they're working so hard, but at the expense of some other part of their life. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah, that's the toll it takes. Like that is the
Yeah.
reality it often takes. It
Mm-hmm.
takes sacrifice, or it takes dropping some balls in order to really, really focus and push in one area,
Oh, yeah.
right?
And you just got to decide which ones are the important ones for you at that time.
Yeah.
You
And then
know?
again, bringing the mental health piece back in, you have to also
Mhm.
keep checking in, like, is this sustainable? Because
Yeah.
the people who write really fast and push a lot and pump out a lot of content, pump out a lot of books, for me, I'm always kind of like, how long are you going to be able to do that for? Like, I worry about the health
Mhm.
impacts of that. And it's not that I don't believe people can write well or write it fast. I do believe that. I think people have different brains, and I have a very distractible brain, so I'm slower, and that's fine. But I do worry about that sort of the hustle culture sort of aspect of it all,
Mhm. Yeah.
where it's just like there's no stopping, there's no resting, there's no reflecting. It's just like, okay, finish that draft. It went to my editor, on to the next one. Boom. And
Yeah.
then like just same day, start the next book,
Mhm.
or next day, start the next book. I'm like, how do you mentally, like, I need some transition time. I need to reflect. I want to take some time to appreciate that, oh, that is now done. But yeah, there's just so much pressure. And I think it's often financial pressure, or health insurance is a concern in the
Mhm.
States, right? So
Yeah.
that financial pressure and that reality, that lived experience of needing the money will push people to work more than is healthy. I mean, that's
Mhm.
capitalism, I guess, but
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's
another
not
big
just
topic.
authoring, it's all it's all careers and jobs in life kind
Mhm.
of. That's
Yeah.
just the reality,
Mhm.
unfortunately. So we
Yeah.
just have to work the best way we can for ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not limited to publishing or writing for sure, but it's definitely very visible in our industry
For sure. Yeah.
that
Yeah.
people are working sort of beyond their capacity a lot of the time.
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely. So you were talking about your marketing before. We've been talking about marketing a little bit, but I did see that you designed your own covers,
Hmm.
which is pretty amazing, and they're
Thank you.
gorgeous.
Thank
So
you.
did you want to tell us a little bit about that? Like, do you do your own artwork, or is it do you use stock images and create them? Tell us about how
So,
you do that.
yeah, so what I do is so my covers all have a couple in black and white, right? And so what I do is I do the character art, the black and white couple, the two characters myself, and then the rest is done in Canva. So what I do is I'll take stock images, or I'll use kind of reference images to draw the character art, often kind of Frankensteined a little bit. Like I might need a reference for like what hair would look like when someone is laying out. Like Elena's hair is all spread out because she's upside down, right? I might need references for that, references for the arm positions, references for the way a shirt collar would look. Like with this, again, knowing that I have black and white to work with, or the shape of an arm at this certain angle or whatever. So I kind of use a whole bunch of different images to create something that I can then kind of emulate with my art. And yeah, it's kind of, it's a weird, messy process, but I end up with something that looks okay. But I've actually just been working on the cover for the fourth book, which I, have really at the beginning stages of drafting, but because I felt like working on the cover, I did. And that's been interesting to kind of create another version of these two characters on the cover that I've got, where the guy's at the bottom and she's at the top. And yeah, interesting challenges every time, because it's always some different body positions. Like, okay, well, we can't really see side profiles. We can't see the shape of a nose. So does the face just look blank and blobby, or do we need some other indication of features and shape? And yeah, it's fun. I've always been fairly artistic and crafty, and I like drawing. I don't draw often, but I do like doing it. So this is fun, and I use an image, kind of like a Photoshop program on my computer to do those. So yeah,
Very cool.
it's fun. I do like doing them.
Adorable.
Yeah.
Do you have a character everyone wants a story for, like a side character or something you didn't plan to write, but maybe readers have been reaching out and like begging for the story?
I don't know. I know when some readers read Hey Jude, they'll be like, I want Sam and Wyatt's story. So Elena's her roommate is Wyatt and his boyfriend is Sam. And I've had a couple requests for a story with them. They're lovely and supportive friends to her. But I'm not personally comfortable with writing a romance between two men, not because there's anything wrong with it, but because that's not my lived experience. And I feel like I want to instead live writing romance personally. That's just my personal comfort zone. So I won't be writing Sam and Wyatt's story, but that's been one request because they love first person POV main characters. Just again, because I'm not part of the queer community, and I just don't feel like that's personally my place, you know?
Yep.
Same way, like I don't personally feel comfortable with writing a main character of color because, again, I'm a white woman, a white straight woman. Like, what do I know about that lived experience? And so I'd rather like, okay, well, instead of adding my voice to all the books out there about people of color, could I lift up an author of color who could write their own story from their lived experience and more authentically? So that's just where I land on those. So yeah, I think I can't remember if there's side characters from I know in Sweet Caroline, Caroline's best friend, Adrian, who's also an old friend of Ada's from the second book. He's bisexual and he's a lot of fun, but he's been requested as I write a book about Adrian, and I'm like, I don't know. Again, bisexual man. I don't think I could take that POV, but he's fun. And I really love that there's enough interest in the side characters and some love for these fun friends of my characters that people would want to know their story too. Like, that's lovely.
Yeah. Have you ever considered either co-writing those books with somebody?
Yeah, I haven't.
Or even being like, hey, reaching out to a gay man who's writes gay romance and be like, I have this IP. These readers really want their story. Would you be willing to do it?
Oh, that's a cool idea. No, I hadn't really thought about that. I mean, certainly if I were to write any POV where, and I have used sensitivity readers for, like, for example, I wrote a dyslexic character and I'm not dyslexic. I think that's important to have sensitivity readers, but that's a really cool idea to actually hand the idea over to an author from that community and be like, you could do this.
Yeah. That'd be a cool collaboration.
Is that something people do? That's cool.
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
We make the rules here for that.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, it's your IP publishing, right? Yeah.
That'd be cool. Yeah. No, I haven't thought of that, but that's a neat idea for sure. As a way to get that story, out there, so to speak. I don't know if the demand is quite intense enough to be like, everyone needs this.
But eventually, once you're on the New York Times bestseller list,
Maybe.
Yeah. So you were talking earlier about your characters and how it's now a friend group, but it's this part of the town has this, all these different things. Are all of your stories interconnected then? Like, will even your future stories be happening in the same small town? Or are you going to branch out to different subgenres, different towns? What are you thinking?
Yeah, so this series will all be set in Lenox Valley. Like, that's going to be the interconnectedness of it, is those 4 books will be all, people who interact in each other's lives to some degree in the same town. And then in terms of what comes next, I'm not actually sure. I don't think that I'll have connections to this series or spin-off series, so to speak. I don't think I'll set the next book, say, in Seattle with Adrian or but yeah, I would like to set whatever I write next in Canada, honestly. I chose to be, like, as a Canadian author, I chose to set this series in the United States when I was sort of just starting out and didn't really know, but I made an assumption anyway that might give me more readership, or there would be more of an appetite for stories set in the US, just because the US is just such a huge population compared to Canada. But that being said, since then, I have really come across a lot of wonderful Canadian authors who set their books in Canada, and there is an appetite for that, absolutely. Bailey Hanna is one great example. Like, she sets her cowboy romances in rural BC, and at least I think BC, not Alberta. I think BC, kind of around the area that she does live in. And and nobody's given her a hard time about it. Like,
Elsie Silver, also Canadian, writes in Alberta. So, and she's huge, right?
Huge. Yeah. So, like, it doesn't detract from anything. And I think that, especially given the political climate, we should be celebrating Canadian voices and Canadian settings, and of course nothing against the US or our lovely American friends as a whole. You can't paint everybody with the same brush, but I think that I think there's just sort of maybe more of an impetus now to have some pride in being Canadian, and more, if we set more stories in Canada and we normalize that, then more people will know more about Canada, and we don't need to keep deferring to American culture and deferring to American settings and American characters. Like, we can, like, that just sort of continues the dominance of American stories, in this genre. So anyway, I just think that I'd like to make a different choice going forward. So I think next series or next book I write, I will set in Canada and maybe even use Canadian spelling.
Ooh.
Scandalous.
For me, I feel like it's because I started writing with the US spelling. Now I feel like I have to stick with it. But
I know. It would be weird to change because I'm really familiar with it all now. But I think if you're a Canadian writer with Canadian characters, Canadian setting, like why would you use US English?
Yeah.
Like just logically shouldn't. I don't know. But anyway, that's a later decision. I still have to write one more book in this series.
Get through this one first.
Yes, one thing at a time. I'm not one of those people who has like, I've got the next 15 books figured out. Like, I'm just more like, I got tomorrow figured out, maybe.
Well, I have the next 150 books planned out. Like, the ideas never, ever stop is my problem.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Do you have like a million notes that are just chaos?
Yeah.
I mean, I've got enough notes that are chaos. I don't need to have 150.
Add to it. Yeah, I just can't. Like, if things just come and you're like, I got to write this down. I got to remember it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always like, how do we put that in this book?
Yeah.
So I'm not like always being like another book, another book. Because I think I'd get overwhelmed and be like, I'm never going to write these all. Like, I just can't.
Yeah.
So we have one question we ask all the authors. It's more of it's a question that you get to ask the readers. Mm-hmm. What we do is what question would you like to ask readers? What we'll do is we'll post it on our social media accounts so they can answer there, or they can post it in the YouTube video comments. So what's one question you would like to ask readers?
That's a great question. Well, building on what we were just talking about, do you have an appetite for stories set in Canada?
That's a good one. Yeah.
I would like that actually. I'd love to know the take the pulse of the readers on that front, because I think the answer will be yeah, of course. But because I just like, there are so many now, so many wonderful indie authors from Canada who are setting their books in Canada unapologetically using Canadian English spelling. And just going, whatever, I'm Canadian. This is what I'm going to write. This is what I know. Yeah. But I'm curious. Like, I don't know, tides are shifting. More indie voices are getting bigger these days. And I think that's wonderful, because we're just getting more unique stories and more voices in the mix, and more marginalized voices in the mix, more people of color, more queer authors getting big. I think it's great. I mean, look at what Heated Rivalry did.
Seriously. Yeah. It's amazing.
It really blew up. So I love that, especially for this moment in terms of what's happening politically. I love that we're having some queer joy getting celebrated.
For sure. Yeah.
Definitely. Speaking of celebrations, you were saying earlier that you like to have a little bit of time between books. How exactly do you celebrate launching a book?
I'm terrible at celebrating launching a book. Just like literally, I don't know. I'm not like a celebrator. I wish I was better at it, because I think that would give me some sense of like closure and like some sense of accomplishment. Like if I could like mark a book launch with like, I've done it.
Yes, I know. Like throw a big party, and
I gotta start doing that, because it's awful. Yeah. I will have launch day happen and then just be like, well, I guess it's now Tuesday, and so I gotta go pick up groceries or whatever. Like I just don't. Yeah. Well, no, and I don't like. It's an ADHD thing too. Everything is, but where you don't feel a sense of accomplishment, right? Like you don't feel a sense of I did this big thing and yay me, and I feel good. It's like you just don't feel much. You're like, well, on to the next to-do list thing or whatever, and that's a shame, because like I want to feel joy and pride and celebration, and I want to feel like when people often ask me like, how do you feel about this book coming out? I'm like, am I supposed to have feelings? Like, it's not that bad. It's not like I don't even connect, but it's am I supposed to, what am I supposed to say? Like, I don't know. I'm excited. Like I've seen lots of lovely reviews and feedback, and certainly that feels good in the moment for sure, but there's not this like, it is done. Yeah. It's just like, okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I've like, sometimes I've gone for a drink with a friend or something, or I got some cheesecake with my best friend this time. That was nice.
That's nice.
We went for Thai food, and then I got cheesecake after, which was awesome. So I'm trying. Trying to do something. But like, it's at the point where I told, obviously my husband and my kids know about my writing and when books are coming out. But this time around, my kids, weeks after the book came out, were like, did your book come out? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, okay. Like, it's just, they're just like, whatever.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, because I'm not running around like throwing
shouting about it,
right? Like I'm just, I'm acting like my normal self. And they're just like, oh, I
Yeah.
didn't even really register that was like a big thing. Because like I just don't make it a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need ideas. Do you have ideas? How do you celebrate?
I don't.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
I'm already analyzing the data of like, oh, this is working and this is how can I tweak this, and then I'm already like halfway through the next book, and it's like, nope.
I almost
Right. It was like,
honestly,
on to the next thing.
it's like I almost feel a bit of a letdown, like a disappointment almost, just because it's like you've been working toward and just excited thinking about this so much, and then the day of, and then it's just like a normal day. Maybe you have
And
your pre-orders come through and whatever, but it's not like, you went through the roof or anything. So it is kind of like okay, I need to try and, I agree. We need to be better about celebrating our success and whatever.
Too. Yeah, let's normalize the like post-release blues, because that does happen too, where you're like, because you have all this like go energy around like getting your arcs out, and then you're getting all these reviews and you're sharing and liking, and then and then the book is out, and then you're like, what do we do with my energy?
Yeah,
exactly.
And it's just sort of like crash out, like it's not this lovely celebration. It's more just like, where do I put this? There's nowhere to put this. And now I just feel weird and bad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I identify with that too, for sure. I think the first time around was really like, whoa, post-release blues really happened. And I haven't had it as bad the second and third time, but it's a weird feeling to just kind of be like, all that work and, oh, okay.
I did this huge big thing, and also what am I, what's going on?
Yeah, like, how is this supposed to work? Yeah. And then there's that, like, I guess I have to start again?
Yes.
Like, the reality is, like, write the next book, because you didn't blow up overnight, and most people don't, of course. And then writing the next book is like, oh, wait, I have to start with all the hard stuff, like figuring it out, and like figuring out the plot and like the problems. Oh, I don't want to deal with problems. I want to have fun.
For sure. Yeah. So we just have one final question for you.
Sure.
It is, we ask the same thing for everyone. If you could read any trope for the rest of your life, what would it be? You can only pick one.
Ooh, that's hard to know. Okay, I have a really deep love for forced proximity, and I know that's kind of like a big trope, but it's so good because it's like inherent tension, right? You have two people who are attracted to each other, whether they want to be or not, and they're stuck in the same place, and you can do so much with that. And there's so much just like longing looks and glances and catching people staring, and like somebody walks by and they smell each other's scent. Like there's so much just baked into forced proximity that's so delicious to me. So I think that would be my ride or die. I've written, well, the next one's also forced proximity, but the first two books that I wrote were both different flavors of forced proximity. I love it. Yeah. I love it. Yeah. The third one's fake dating, which was new to me, and that was a lot of fun.
Love fake dating.
I do love fake dating.
Yeah, it was sort of an interesting, I did sort of a different take on, I don't know. There was like a blackmail thing involved in their story, but
even better.
Right? Yeah. Stakes. The stakes intense. But I just love any situation where the two main characters are thrown together and they are like, we shouldn't be doing this, or I don't know how I'm going to resist this person, and then they just can't, and they give in, and they're bad at resisting it, and it's just so bad. Yeah.
It's delicious, for sure.
Delicious, yeah.
Oh my gosh, awesome. All right, Hannah, well, thank you so much for coming out and letting us peek behind the curtain of your author life. Before we sign off, can you tell us what you're working on, or at least when it's going to be released, that fourth book?
Sure. So the fourth book is going to be, well, if everything goes to plan, is going to be out at the end of 2026. Okay. Each of my books takes place in a different season, so I'm aiming for 4 to match the 4 seasons. So the first one is spring, second one is summer, third one is fall, and this one's going to be winter, like a Christmas. Cute. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yes, I'm very excited about that. So forced proximity over Christmas. We can see that. That'll be fun.
Yes.
Nice. Are you looking for ARC readers? How can people sign up to be an ARC reader?
Oh, I'm not looking yet because I have not drafted it.
Perfect. Well, when you're ready, we'll have people come to your Instagram and sign up.
Yes, I will be looking for beta readers. I will be looking for ARC readers eventually. Probably, let's see, when would that be? ARC reading would be like, I don't know, in the fall, I guess. Yeah, so it's a ways off still. I'm a 1 book a year gal. I just can't go faster than that because that's my brain, my process, my factors, as we discussed.
Everyone writes different and everyone has different, it's totally fine, right?
Yeah, different capacity for all kinds of reasons, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that'll be the 4th book. There are some hints at the end of book 3 about who that will be about. If you are a keen-eyed reader, you might figure it out. And I'm not hiding anything, but I want to do like all the fun reveals later.
Yeah,
on.
of course.
Yeah,
for sure.
And I'm not sharing the title, but there might be ways to kind of guess what it could be.
Exciting. A little sleuthing on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. And so if readers want to keep up with you and see what's up, where can they find you and your books online and your social media links and everything? We're going to post the links in our show notes as well, but if you can let us know.
Sure, yeah. So I'm most active on Instagram at hannah.brixton. I also have a TikTok account at hannah.brixton.author. And I believe the Facebook page is the same. I think it's hannah.brixton.author or just Hannah Brixton author. I don't use the Facebook page too much. I'm mostly on Instagram and sometimes TikTok, although TikTok can be infuriating.
For sure. No, never been on there.
Yeah.
Never pulled my hair out after posting a video that doesn't go anywhere.
No, that's not the norm. Yeah, so that's probably the best is to find me there. I have a website, hannahbrixton.com, and I can't think of any other relevant socials. I'm on Threads, same name as Instagram, hannah.brixton.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Thank you so much, Hannah. Really appreciate you coming out and talking to us.
Yeah, it was so fun to talk. Yeah. Sorry for yapping so much. I'm sure I did the classic thing of talking a lot.
It's all good.
It was great conversation.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I love chatting with you both.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Thanks for getting dirty with us. If you had fun, leave a review on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. New episodes will be released every Wednesday, and we've got an amazing lineup of authors to share with you.
If there's someone you'd love to see on our show, or you've got burning questions for your favorite authors, send us an email to backstagewiththebookbabes@gmail.com. or leave us a comment on our social media accounts. You can find us on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok, Backstage with the Book Babes. Links and applications for authors to join us as guests are at linktree/Backstage with the Book Babes.
You can follow me, Albie Blake, with that handle on social media, specifically Instagram and TikTok.
You can follow me, Nikki Jewell, and learn about my books at authornikkijewell.com. I'm also on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok at NikkiJewell_books.
Thanks again for joining the party. Keep turning those pages and keep it spicy.